I call Shane Arden.
The Medicines Amendment Bill is on its way, Mr Speaker, so I'm sure that there'll be a cure here somewhere. National is committed to delivering high-quality modern public health services with tight budgets while reducing back office costs. And Medicines Amendment Bill is another step in National's drive for better, sooner, more convenient health care. And I've heard some of my opponents on the other side, or our opponents on the other side, raise this issue, Mr Speaker. But before I address their concerns or their issues, can I say what a pleasure it is to be once again back on the Health Select Committee. We have Dr Paul Hutch as the chair, Dr Jackie Blue, Dr Cam Corder and myself. I'm not sure what my medical colleagues did to deserve that, but whatever it is, it's a pleasure to be back on the Health Select Committee again. After a 13-year sabbatical, it's 13 years ago since I last served in that Select Committee. And guess what, Mr Speaker? 13 years ago on that Select Committee, we discussed the need and started addressing a proposal to change the then prescribing law so that designated prescribers would be allowed to prescribe or issue medicines in certain cases. And certainly the Nurses Association submitted to that process, if my memory serves me right, and said, look, most of the doctors know that the nurses actually come along and suggest to the doctor that this patient or that patient may benefit from this or that particular medicine. And obviously their nursing and observation plays a role in the final prescription. And the doctors themselves at the time were pretty confident that that could be carried out. So what's happened in the ensuing, I guess, period of time? Well, we had 9 years of labour, of course. And what happens when you have 9 years of labour? Procrastination. Nothing happens. And so here we are, all these years later, Mr Speaker, once again proposing these sensible changes. It was interesting to listen to one of the other members of the Select Committee a few moments ago, Ian Lees-Galloway from Palmerston North, talking about what people say while they're in government or say while they're in opposition and then do while they were in government. I think it was his predecessor, the Honourable Steve Mahari, who perfected the art of saying one thing in opposition and doing another thing in government, and was proud to pronounce it in this Parliament. And I'm sure that somehow or other the Medicines Amendment Bill got mixed up in that as well, Mr Speaker, and there were probably good ideas that were suggested by the member in opposition, but they weren't things they carried out in government. The changes to the bill, the proposed changes or the suggested changes in the bill that is to go to the Health Select Committee will bring about the opportunity for competent and professional people such as nurses, such as various other medical practitioners to prescribe. Optometrists is another one that is suggested in this proposal. And I'm sure, Mr Speaker, if you think about that for a few moments, there were many examples when people have been denied access, and I'm thinking of the rural sector, public health nurses, those kind of people, where people are either suffering from a minor illness or they are on palliative care suffering from more serious illnesses, where the district health nurse or some other suitable person could have potentially saved some either further illness or discomfort by having the ability to make a decision without having to go through a process without fear of repercussions, although at a competent level, and make a decision as far as that prescription goes. So I'm looking forward, Mr Speaker, to the submission process in the Health Select Committee, ably chaired by the Dr Paul Hutch, and I look forward to hearing what they have to say, Mr Speaker.
I called Richard Cross.